Hi. I'm Brian Jordan Alvarez. Who's buying this middle grade of gas? I was in Amsterdam recently. This is unrelated. I was in Amsterdam recently, and I went to the Van Gogh Museum. I went with my best friend, but then I had this day by myself. And I went to the Van Gogh Museum, and I saw all of his self-portraits, and I don't want to encourage this guy's body dysmorphia, but the one without the ear does look the best. It didn't start as a joke. It's really like you look at them all, and the ear is like really present in so many of them, and then you get to the one without the ear, and you're like, okay, I see what you did there. I have this thing. Oh, I was on Will and Grace recently, as they said. And what's funny is you're doing it in front of a live audience, So this is obvious to all of you. But it's like they're really there, and I don't think I had clocked that until I got there. And they're really there, and you have to play to them. And so I did that. I was really playing to the crowd. It turns out I had a microphone, picking up my sound. So when you watch the show, everyone's talking normally, and I'm screaming at the top of my lungs. Looked like a character choice. And it was funny, but it was an accident, actually. My mom is Colombian. She's like very, just about as Colombian as you can be. And she's been here for a long time, and she's been trying to improve her English all along. But it's just only gotten weirder through the years. So she's like, now when she talks, she tries to have like a hard. She's always trying to pronounce the words. And it's like, go back to where you started. Certainly not her country. I would never say. I mean, her. Go back to the accent, because there's videos of her when she was 23, and she really had like a milky, smooth. Somebody's calling me. I'm gonna take. No, I'm just kidding. It's my boyfriend. Movies, Has anybody ever asked you guys, do you want to watch some movies? There's this thing where people are like, you want to watch some movies? And you're like, are movies just a fucking continuous substance that we can just watch an indefinite amount of? Like, some movies change your fucking life, and other movies don't and are terrible. And I'm not gonna like watch, fucking The Hours and then go watch an Avengers movie. I have to process or I have to walk out of the Avengers. I actually objectively understand that those Avengers movies are extremely good, because it's either that or everyone's insane, and I don't think everyone's insane. I think those movies are good. I just don't know what's happening on the screen. This is real. I don't know what's happening on the screen in those goddamn movies. Something is happening in the first 10 minutes where some information I assume is being handed to me. And I'm not receiving it. And so for the rest of the 6 hours or however long these things are, it's just meaningless activity, like high amounts of activity that I'm not invested in. It looks just like movement and sound, which is similar to my problem with sports. Because I don't know the plot of football, and I've tried to get people to explain to me. I think in my life I've asked someone to explain the fucking rules of football to me separately about 630,000 different times, and they always start. And I'm smart, or so I think. They always start, and I'm getting it, and I get maybe the first two items. And then I have to say I'm proud of America that this is the main game, because these rules are not simple. I literally am standing here right here in front of you, and I don't know the rules of football. I know that it's something about moving the energy like a war along like a line toward one side or the other. But then my problem is that there's this fucking goal post, and I'm like, just get the ball through that. Like in soccer. You guys don't even relate to this because you know the rules of football. This is real for me. Soccer is simple. It's straightforward. It's just to me, soccer just looks like every great butt I've ever seen, like running around a field. And then every once in a while, the pants come down, and I'm like, that is when they score the goal, I think. Let's see. Oh, I think the low level of the marriages in the Alien movies is really funny. Somebody will die, and then somebody else will be like, my girl, my wife. And you'll be like, that was your wife? Nobody told. I mean, we could have saved her, you know. We didn't know that you were related. What else do I have? I thought I could just go, you know, but I have to look at this fucking device. Oh, yeah. You guys find that it often changes which porn site you're getting the best results from? You're like titrating the medication to get the right. You're like, that's the best one today. I want to have one of those porn bodies, you know. Sometimes I watch porn and I try to do like manifesting by being like, that's me. Those are my bodies. That's my body. Those aren't. I don't own those bodies. I often say, and this is not a happy thing, so get ready for me to say a sad thing. I often say that I've stayed thin my whole life by feeling fat for every second that I've been alive. That's called body dysmorphia. This girl I know did a one-woman show about her eating disorder, and it was really good, and she's a great actress. And she, in the show, she was like, I was talking to my therapist, and I was telling her, you know, I went to this commercial shoot for this commercial I'd booked, and I had eaten a muffin on the way there, so my face looked fat. And my therapist said, this is too sad for you. And my therapist was like, what did you say? And I was like, when I got there, I had eaten a muffin, so my face looked fat. And my therapist was like, you have body dysmorphia. And I, Brian, am here to tell you guys that if you think that you have body dysmorphia because you think a muffin can make your face look fat, you're wrong. A muffin can make your face look fat. Also, I have body dysmorphia. So who knows what is real? You know. I was at the airport the other day, and I was doing all that shit where you like take your fucking laptop out and yeah, okay, good. I was doing that thing where you're taking the all of this, and then I had like 2 jackets and like a phone and an iPad that has to be in its own thing, and a laptop that has to be in its own thing, and then you finally get through. Your shoes are off. You get to the other side. You're putting your whole identity back on your body, and the laptop back into the sleeve, and then the sleeve into the backpack and the iPad, and then they're shouting at you to stack the fucking. You're stacking the things, and I was like, I work here now. And I worked there for 4 months. I made $300. I love in airports that sign that says "to all gates" because you're just like, I can't go wrong going this way. Like, this is where I'm going. These are where my gates are. I was watching Terminator last night with my best friends, who are so great. I was watching Terminator last night, and I was like, it's so funny how no matter how huge a filmmaker gets, like Cameron, they're like, and it's set in LA where I live. it's we're gonna set the movie in LA. Like E.T. too. It's like it's about an alien who comes to LA here, where we are gonna shoot the movie. You know, I just did it. I just like made a movie and set it in LA. You guys should watch it on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/Brian Jordan Alvarez. When I'm in airports, I do this thing that I also do at Six Flags, and anywhere where there's going to be like a money trap, where I'm going to be inside of some kind of a gate, where everything is going to get way more expensive, like at an airport or at Six Flags. You guys are getting this? I know I love you guys. You're all so great. Anywhere where I'm in a money trap, I consistently spend so much more money trying to avoid spending money in there than I would have if I had just spent some fucking money in the money trap. I went on a flight to Hong Kong recently by myself for Christmas. I went on like a soul trip to Hong Kong. It was really amazing, and I hung out with an Instagram fan while I was there. He's now my good friend. That's true. But I went on this trip to Hong Kong, and I bought 9 sandwiches before I got on the plane. I couldn't eat 9 sandwiches on a 13-hour flight. So I ate like 4 of them. And, yeah. I'll leave you guys with this. I was in Hong Kong, and I really kind of don't know what to make of this. But I went to this restaurant, and I got this food, and I like wasn't that hungry. So first of all, I was in a part of town where, because Hong Kong, there's a lot of English in Hong Kong, which is part of why I went, because I don't speak any Cantonese or Mandarin. And I was in this restaurant in this part of town called Kowloon, which is like Kowloon side, and they did not understand my English, which is, you know, they're right, certainly. And so I had to do the thing where I was pointing at the food, and then they brought me some of it, and it was like not the thing that I quite wanted. So then I ate some of it, and I wasn't that hungry. So then I got up and I tried to pay, and they were so confused because I hadn't eaten anything. And then I tried to pay, and then I tried to tip. And it was like I had a weapon. Everyone was backing away from the tip. And I've learned, but I don't know if I'm right, that it can be insulting to tip in some places. So I like set it on the table, and all the waiters like backed away from it, and I walked out of the restaurant. But everyone there was really sweet to me. Thanks, guys. It was good meeting you. Bye.